Hey guys, it's Ed again. Well, as you can see maybe, right there is one of them. I made a trip to Harbor Freight today, and guess what? They had a deal for $24.99, I think it was, for a LED 4-foot shop light, and I actually missed out on that deal. So it was good until February 28th. And I, of course, didn't make it there. So I was looking in the ads, and guess what? There was a new coupon, $19.99. So guys, check your ads for the LED shop light, the 4-footer. And I'm shooting on the new camera, on the Sony HX80. And I'm just kind of spinning myself around here trying to get in the good light so we can see exactly how we look. And so anyway, I think these lights are really helping this camera. This camera, that's its biggest downfall, is it has a small aperture, so it doesn't let in a lot of light. And you can see it's kind of dark over here, but still not as bad as it used to be. So with the camera on the back side, we'll take a little walk over here. Everything's looking pretty good. Yeah, I think the lighting looks good all the way around. That's looking like it's a lot brighter over here, which is good, because this is the bench where I do most of my putzing around. And I mean, I'm casting some shadow, you can see, but pretty decent. Also was told, actually Harvey Spooner said that he bought one. He was having problems with his radio, so sounds okay to me. Before YouTube yells at me. But yeah, the radio's coming in good. Everything is seeming to work pretty decent. I think the bike is illuminated pretty well. I think that looks good. I mean, we'll check this video out on the bigger screen, but I think it looks okay. And so anyway, yeah, so I got those lights for $19.99. Here's the old fluorescent, and you can see two different shades of tubes, and that is a single one of the brand new LEDs. This is an old LED that I've had for, oh man, this one here I've had probably at least a year. That one over here I've had at least 2 or 3 years. That was the first one. I bought 2 of those. I put one out in my garage and one in here, and that thing has been great. It's just a tube. It's actually, this has been on for quite a while, and it's really cool to the touch, where these ones from Harbor Freight, they're a little warmer. They put off a little heat, so which is kind of, but maybe they're brighter. That's fluorescent. That's an oldie. Those bulbs are probably older than I am. So yeah, I think it really brightens up my table saw. I mean, it really brings that back. And this bench has a small LED light over it. I do work over here some. That's where the thing is. Oh yeah, did you see what else I bought? Yeah, I know. Chinese tools. You know, everybody needs Chinese tools. Well, here's the deal. Down here in the basement, I have what's left of all the tools that I have accumulated over my entire life. So, example is in here, some of these sockets are Craftsman, like right there. That one is actually that one is a Proto. This is a Proto. I bought a set of Proto at a yard sale when I was probably, I don't know, about 18 years old, somewhere in there. There's a Pittsburgh. There's some Craftsman in here. That one might be a Craftsman. It's awful rusty. No, that's Taiwan. This one here probably goes back until I was, I'd say, 12, 13 years old. That looks like another Proto. So there's just a conglomeration of sockets in there. That one's Japanese. That one's Taiwan. I think there was, but I have a lot of Craftsman out in the garage. This one is Taiwan. This is a Craftsman ratchet that I just had replaced. Craftsman has went downhill tremendously. This thing, I mean, it works, but it's, you know, it's got that huge gear in it, so it doesn't articulate very well. And I bought, I don't see it here, but I did buy one of those green ratchets from Harbor Freight, and I noticed that this set right here, this is the 225 piece set, had the green ratchets. Now they're kind of smooth. They got a real fine gear, which of course, you know, you would think would probably tear out eventually. But you know, here's a 3/8 drive, and you guys can hear that. It's got a very fine gear in it. But I have one of these, and I have a set of sockets, just regular sockets. And you know what? I've been pretty impressed with it. It has held up really good. All this is metal. I had almost even, no, this is actually, the flipper is plastic, but this part is metal. So, you know, and you can't say much because, you know, the Craftsman, which used to be, you know, everything, you know, in the world, you know, that does have a metal flipper, but it just has that really big gear in it. And this is all loose. So, you know, just isn't the same, you know. Used to be nice when they had USA written right on them, you know. So I got, you know, you're always looking for a 10 millimeter. You never have a 10 millimeter. This set has about 10 million different 10 millimeters. Here's a 10 millimeter. You know, there's another 10 millimeter right here. There's another 10 millimeter right there. What is this one? Yeah, that's 3/8 drive, 1/4 inch drive, deep well. All your SAEs are over here. I like the case. It actually, these pins come out and you could take this apart, and this, I think, will fit right in your, if you have a US General case, which I do. And I may take it out and put it in the garage. If I do, I don't know yet. But, you know, I mean, can always use, that's a big pair of needle noses. I don't have a pair that big. They said sometimes they're ground funny. These ones are stiff, but nothing that a little work will do. But they look to be ground pretty square. Not seeing anything crazy there. You know, crescent wrench, adjustable wrench. You know, it's ground pretty flat, little wonky on the end. You know, I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. I mean, it seems to be pretty tight for a Chinese wrench. You know, it is what it is. Don't use them anyway, not very often, in case you're in a pinch. But I didn't have a lot of stupid tools like some of the kit. Like these, actually, I have a use for these. Like I said, I don't have a pair that big, so that's kind of cool. I don't like, and actually the case, they pop in pretty good. They're not real loose. They don't have screwdrivers. Like I think if you buy the 300 piece one, they actually have, but this has a screwdriver, you know, to put the bits in. So it doesn't have a set of screwdrivers, but that's okay. because screwdriver wise, I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but I like, and I have liked, the Harbor Freight screwdrivers. I have quite a few of them. These old orange ones and the green ones were the Phillips. They the only thing that's a little squirrely is when the handles get real oily, they almost feel like they start to fall apart. They like melt in your hands. But I've noticed that I wash them and then let them dry thoroughly, and they seem to be okay. So they break down with the oil, but you know. So I did buy a new set of, you know, these ones. They're like 10 bucks, you know, for the whole set. And I mean, I use like this one here, the big straight one. You know, here's one. You know, I've used that to change tires, and you can see a bead on it with a hammer. And it's still alive, still doing its thing. They also had a freebie knife. So I'm down here doing unboxing, and I never seem to have my knife because a lot of times when I get home from work is when I got new boxes, and I like to shoot the video then. And I can't do that because where I work, I can't have a pocket knife. So yeah, so I got those, and I did buy that kit. So I'm not sure how I'm going to put it together in the toolbox or where I'm going to store it yet. That one's tight. Yeah, I don't think I would use this case necessarily for that. This looks good. I like this, you know. But then the problem is that you have some of your sockets contained here, not all down here. What are these, 1/4-inch drives? Yeah, they're 1/4-inch drive. So, I mean, they snap in okay, but I think I would use the, I also, last week, or I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I bought these things here. These are pretty cool. They wanted like 30, 40 bucks for them to back out on them so you can see. This is the 1/2-inch drive. So I don't have a lot of 1/2-inch drive sockets anymore. I've got some over here. So, and then I've got compression testers and weird stuff in there. I'm trying to get organized, guys. Part of my organization too was I bought all these little gray totes. These are 3-gallon totes. Yeah, they're not cheap. They're like $5.99 a piece at Depot. But they're kind of nice because, you know, I can put fuel line, you can see, plumbing, copper, abrasive paper, miscellaneous brackets, air, AV, DC power supply, AC wiring. I got some parts. You can see I got the Honda parts, motorcycle wiring. There's the 78 parts, galvanized plumbing. So the theory is that right now I am putting some motorcycle parts in there, or project parts, but I would like to try to get it so it's just hardware, you know, like electrical, AC, DC, whatever, you know, air, plumbing, pieces, stuff like that. You know, this one has brass and PVC because I ran out of totes. But I do have room, I think, for, well, if I take the cars out, get them out of the way, I can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more totes in there. And I think that'll work pretty good. And so I'm pretty pleased with that setup. Also, I've been working on this tank. I had it peeled down, believe it or not, guys. You can see I had bare metal. And I actually had red. I had the original red paint. Right there it is. That's the original red paint. It was all red. And it didn't look too bad. And then I decided I was going to try to clean it up, and I dropped a little lacquer thinner on it, and it sucked the paint right off it. So it bubbled it right up, and it was gone. So this is going to get sanded all down. The stickers are going to go. I was going to try to save the stickers and be cheap. But that's all going to come down, and then it'll get repainted. And I'm torn. You know, this here is the Chevy orange. This one over here is the Tahitian red that I actually paid like 20 bucks a can for. I don't like either one of them because I really don't want to repaint these because these look really nice. And to be honest with you, I think these look a lot like Sunrise Red. So I think I'm going to paint the bike Sunrise Red, which is what I always paint all Hondas anyway, because it just really fits on them, except for this one. This one I got to get some royal blue, so try that. Put the headlight in it, kind of. The biggest issue I think was, remember I said it kind of fit wonky? If you can see, that's dented. Yeah, you can see that in the light. It's got a dent in it, so it doesn't fit quite right, but I did get a screw in it. Got it put on there and ain't gonna fall off, so that's good. But so anyway, guys, I have babbled long enough. I have bored you to death. Thanks a lot for watching, subscribing, and commenting. I really do appreciate it. Got quite a few new subscribers. Thank you for jumping on and coming along and watching my craziness. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.